Alright, about time I talked some music, so here's something I got in the mail. Pan post! Check out this package. Awkward. Oh my gosh. Cute. Cute. Look, I get free rubber bands. They're always handy, right? Packaging is fun. And I feel like kind of on theme, you'll see in a moment. Although I suppose the video title will give away what it is anyway. Oh, look at this. I mean, we've already seen the back, so... Look! Citizens of Amazon Prime Edition. Ooh, look, limited edition number 51 out of 65. Isn't this fun? Look. Includes employee training disc. Ooh, ooh. So what is it? Yeah, yes, I'm going to awkwardly film my screen instead of screen capture, but what is it? It's Cyrus. They're a band from Melbourne, although there's a female singer in Sydney and that's how I got onto them. And I have purchased, yes, the Citizens of Amazon Prime Edition, which is a limited edition. No more will ever be made. Kind of fun. And what attracted me to it is, well, we'll open it, but you can kind of already see some of the details. Floppy disk style USB drive. Ooh. Okay. Yes, so it's me and my dodgy unboxings. From an awkward angle, but, oh, okay, this way, I guess. I had it the right way then. Oh, it's so nostalgic, because I am that old that, yes, we used to put floppy disks in the computers. Although, not like the old school floppy disks, I mean like this style of disk. Look! Oh my gosh, that's really fun. Employee training disc. Cyberpunk electronica, caution. Oh, I love all that. Rejected malware. Oh my god, that's so much fun. And so, yeah, I kind of impulsively was like, I need it. I also bought, on their previous release, there's a song called Smoke Machine, which is fun and much dancing around the room. But yeah, wow. Hey, it even does the... And then how do I do the thing? I don't know. Oh, it's like an intelligence test. And then it is! There's a USB stick. It's hiding in the back of the thing. So, oh, I wasn't even showing you the right side. So, let me put him back in there. Now that I've figured it out, now that I've passed the intelligence test. But maybe not the filming intelligence test. Ta-da! Ta-da! Cool. I've actually just been listening to it, because I finally got a chance to sit down. Oh my god, today was so busy, I didn't even turn on my computer until like 7. Triton had his last day at puppy school. He graduated a little while ago, but today was his last day at puppy school because we've been doing drop-in classes, like extra classes, because he's going to have manners class in mid-June. I don't know exactly when that's going to start, but I just wanted him to get some extra socialization and just learning stuff, reinforcing stuff. But he's getting a little bit too big and aggressive for the other dogs. He's a Spitz breed amongst all these little oodles, these oodle mixed soft dogs, like, you know, bred by humans, like, you know, manipulated by humans for 1,000 years, whereas Finnish Lapland's a bit more of a traditional breed and a bit more wolf-like, slightly more wolf DNA in them, and he's a herding dog as well, a working dog, and he wants to herd all the dogs and chase them. Anyway, I'm rambling. We're supposed to be talking about this, yeah. So I've been listening to the point I was trying to make. I've been listening to the digital version. Now, I'm pretty sure there's an extra song, because this isn't the only thing in here. This is the CD. And since I now have a car pretty much to myself, and it has a CD player, and I don't have data, a decent amount of data on my phone yet, I can shove this in the car, and poor Triton will have to listen to Citizens of Amazon with me in the car, and I've got to try not to put it too loud because I don't know if he's got car anxiety or if he's just feeling car sick, but maybe I should wait before I play that in the car with him, but when I'm like going to band prac, if that ever happens. Even though we're not an electronic industrial band like these guys, my solo stuff is closer, but yeah, no, I could put that in the car and blast it and be like in dance mode. Fuck yeah. By the time I get to band prac, I'm going to be like, hell yeah, guys. Anyway, Prime Edition. So there is an extra track. Let me just try, and it's really hard to... It's not the easiest case, these things. Is it focusing? What does it say? Tunnel System? Bonus. So that's not on the Bandcamp version. You have to get either the CD or these, but these, you can't get them anymore. I have limited edition. Anyway, no, I was trying to get to the point. Nostalgic, right? And one of the things that struck me while I was listening to the Bandcamp version I haven't listened to the bonus track, Tunnel System. Is that what it was called? I've already forgotten. It says on the thing, yeah, Tunnel System. So I haven't listened to that track yet, but the ones that I've heard so far, it's a bit of a mix, and so there's a bit more of that modern dubsteppy kind of sound occasionally, but some of the songs have a very MIDI-like song, and I don't know how old my audience is, but I am 35. People think I'm young. I'm not. I'm old and cranky. At this point, you know, I really should just tell people I'm a 400-year-old vampire, because what's the difference anymore? When I was in high school, MP3s, I don't know when MP3s were invented. They were probably around, like a lot of internet stuff was around, but your regular person didn't get access to it for ages. So what I did in high school is I would download MIDIs. And so I've got lots of Pokemon MIDIs, I've got Neon Genesis Evangelion MIDIs, and then I've got like video games that I never played. I think they're mostly Final Fantasy and a bunch of other stuff. Digimon? Hey Digimon, hey Digimon. Monster fans to the boys and girls. Hey Digimon, hey Digimon. Champions of the digital. Anyway, so my life has been very much disrupted by this dog, and when I'm not playing with him, he's napping in my bathroom, and I feel like I'm stuck at the computer. I need to start training him to sit nicely in my studio when he's having a nap. So maybe tomorrow we'll start working on that, seeing as I'm not doing anything. Unless I take him to Bunnings, because I do need to buy a thing, but he might throw up in the car again, so maybe I don't want to. He might throw up, especially if I'm playing Citizens of Amazon too loud. He might be like, what is this shit? But I don't know, he's pretty chill. I was playing it loud, and he's in the bathroom, and he's like, He actually started going huff when the music stopped. And I don't think he likes silence, because then he doesn't know that I'm around. Anyway, no, maybe tomorrow I'll start teaching him that. Anyway, where was I going? No, so I'm stuck in my room a lot. I have tried to do singing practice. I have zoned out into YouTube land watching videos like you are doing now, unless you're just listening to this in the background, but whatever. No, I've been zoning out. I've actually been, doing these horribly designed Sudokus, which a lot of them you can't solve in the normal way. Occasionally you can. And I finally found like one pattern that's helpful, but a lot of them I get to a point where I need to do a trial and error thing, and it's a pain in the butt. Anyway, watching YouTube doing that. But every now and then, like, I need to read something, and if I'm reading something and it's silent, my little puppy gets a bit of like a huff and a puff, and he might come and see if I'm still around, and then if he's awake, I feel like I have to take him out. And he's actually good with his toilet training, so I probably don't need to as much, and he is starting to learn that if I don't get up, he goes back and has more of a nap. But anyway, I need to read stuff, but I need it to not be quiet. So what I've been doing is I found my old folder of MIDI files, and I've just been listening to MIDIs, and they have this, for me, a very nostalgic sound, the MIDIs, because that's what I did in high school, and that's when you're forming a lot of your musical feelings. Like, you know, you can, as an adult, learn to enjoy other forms of music, but a lot of your musical tastes are formed when you're young, although that doesn't really explain... I didn't really get into metal until after I left high school. Maybe that's why the electronic stuff is more embedded, but I just never know where to find it. Anyway, now I found some. long way of saying some of the songs on this remind me of that MIDI style of composing, and oh my god, I told my psychologist on Friday that I was listening to these MIDIs again, and she's like, what's a MIDI? And I think I must be older than her. Which might be why I'm having trouble connecting in any way. Also, she's not nerdy like me. She doesn't know what I'm talking about a lot of the time. But yeah, no, what's a MIDI? So if you are a young person who's managed to get through all my rambling to this point, a MIDI is kind of like, you know, this is back before MP3s. You couldn't record the vocals into a MIDI. It's just like musical instrument, like, you know, when you read music, if you play an instrument and someone gives you a score, like with all the musical notes written out, it's basically a digital version of those musical notes. And so instead of, like, you know, if you have an MP3, these days they're quite compressed, so maybe it's like 3 megabytes or whatever, but that's got like the waveforms and kind of like algorithmically shrunk, and yeah, they sound okay. Spotify ruins music, and that's one of the many reasons I don't like Spotify. But it's like, for the 90s and early zeros, that's like a big file, 3 megabytes. So to be able to transmit songs over the internet, because MP3s would have existed, I think, but yeah, we had shit internet connections, especially here in Australia. We still are lagging behind. No, those, like, musical notes. It's like if you sent someone... I don't know how even to explain it to... Because, like, people look at these now. The kids look at these floppy disk things, and they're like, oh, you 3D printed the save icon. And it's like, fucking... How do I explain this to people who don't get it? But, like... If you have an image file, like, they're kind of big-ish, but if you have a simple text file, it's small. I don't know how to... I've realized, like, I started explaining this, and I realized I don't know how to explain it to the kids. Just like the music notes, if you just hand someone the music notes, it's a smaller thing than if you have to hand the waveforms. So I've completely lost my train of how to explain. I feel so old. Oh my god. I love that this thing does the thing. Oh my goodness. Yeah, I don't know. I guess it's like the difference between having your violinist here and just giving someone a piece of music. I don't know how to explain it. It's just like MIDI files are very small, and so that's what we listen to. And some of the MIDI files don't play well on this new computer, which I need to rant about at some point. But so some of them don't sound good. Like, I've got some Team Rocket MIDIs, and the only part of those MIDIs that plays on this computer in Windows Media Player, which I think is like a legacy version. At least they included Windows Media Player, because I am that old. All my playlists are set up for it and whatever, so I was able to transfer it across okay. But yeah, so trying to play it on this computer, the only thing that comes through on those Team Rocket ones is just drums. So I'm sitting there and I just get a beat, and that's it. That's all it can play on the MIDI. And then there are other MIDIs where it'll start playing a note and then it slides the pitch up, but then it hits the maximum pitch for that instrument on this particular computer. Whereas if I took that same MIDI and put it on my Mac, which I use for music, I would be able to put it into my music software, and I would be able to change the instruments, and it would play them differently. It would have different sounds, because Windows versus Apple, different sounds. Yeah, so then you can manipulate the sounds, and the MIDIs will sound different on different machines. Anyway, I'm rambling about MIDIs, and what I meant to say is, like, just some of the instrumentation on this really reminds me of that MIDI style. And I guess, like, with the electronic stuff, I mean, you do write a lot of electronic music in MIDI. For those of you who are musicians, at least you'll understand me, maybe. Oh my god. But yeah, no, really nostalgic, and it's kind of a weird coincidence that I picked this up right as I was listening to that kind of thing. And, like, there's some really cool beats in it, and the concept is really amazing. If you go to the Cyrus YouTube channel, they have their, Syncast, Amazon Syncast, whatever, those were a really fun series of videos. Do I have it? I'm pretty sure I'm subscribed, and I don't know where those videos have gone, because there is too much on here. Oh, there it is, Cyrus Official, Amazon Syscast, and there's like that story in the build-up to the release date, and then the very first track on this as well. I just love the whole concept that they've put together. It's sort of like in a dystopian future where basically Amazon has taken over, and instead of being a big company, it's like they run the cities, and there's also like a RoboCop reference in there, and it's just like heaps fun nostalgic shit. And some of it also reminds me of how I compose music. They're much more complex than the music that I write, because I'm focusing more on telling my story, I guess, but I'm also, music doesn't come naturally to me. I know, I've spent all this time working on my music. It does not come naturally to me. I was a maths and science kid in school, but I'm just drawn to the creative shit, which is such a pain because my life would be so much easier if I could just do the maths. And, you know, I just don't have that focus. I don't care enough. Anyway, and yeah, I struggle with making music, but there are just elements that make me think, oh, I like writing music like that, and they make it sound really good, and it kind of makes me think I should actually get back in the studio making more music, because it has potential. These guys are showing how you can use the same elements that I like to play with in a really awesome way, and I'm not going to get to a point where I can make this kind of a thing if I don't get in the studio and practice, basically. I wouldn't make it exactly like this, because like they've got more guitars. I'm purely electronic because I can't play guitar, and I'm trying to save my guitar-based music for my metal band. But yeah, no, I need to play around more with my electronic stuff, and you know, at some point I need to get back into gigging. Those plans are a little bit like, oh, I don't know where that's going at the moment, because my whole life is just dog at the moment. And then with my metal band, there's just been delays because people have been busy, and I'm not really sure what's happening at the moment. Anyway, no, I just wanted to share that with you. Go on, hop onto their Bandcamp and take a listen. And see if you like it. They're probably on Spotify as well. I haven't actually checked. That would be kind of amusing if they're on Spotify, though, because this is like, there is a bit of an anti-capitalist vibe to it, and Spotify just kind of, I don't know, gives me exploitative vibes, especially with the way they treat musicians. So if they're on Spotify, interesting choice. I don't know. I get it though, because that's one way that people promote stuff, and it's not like other platforms. I mean, other platforms I feel are a little bit better, because at least with YouTube, I passed their requirements, and then I can make the money. Not that I make much off YouTube, because as you can tell by this video, I'm just absolutely chaotic. But, you know, like, I don't have to pay YouTube to put my stuff online. That's pretty awesome as it is. And then I have the opportunity to make money off it if I work at it. Which I don't. I've just been spamming you guys with puppy videos. Anyway, no, so like there's the opportunity. Whereas with Spotify, you have to pay a middleman to get your stuff on there, and then now they've decided that unless you make a certain number of plays, you don't get anything, or I don't know if they made that change yet, or if they were just talking about it, because I don't keep up with Spotify. But like there's that kind of weird thing, like, why is a middleman necessary? That was part of the old record label thing. You don't need that anymore. We have a digital platform. I can upload my stuff direct to YouTube. I can upload my stuff direct to Bandcamp. Why do I need a middleman for Spotify? You know, like, I guess maybe they try and weed out some of the garbage, but garbage still gets on there. I don't know, it's just like, I don't like that arrangement where I have to pay them, and then they have now decided they might not even hold up their end of the bargain. So none of my own stuff is on Spotify. The only things I have on Spotify are like collaborations I've done with people. So if you look up me on Spotify, those are what you'll find. And I don't mind that. If someone else wants to do the Spotify thing, I'm not going to stop them. Same with my band. If they want to do Spotify, sure, I'm just not going to be the person who organizes it. If they want me to organize Bandcamp, I can do that. I'm just not going to organize Spotify because I don't like it. And I don't like the distributors, I don't like the whole arrangement, I don't like the attitude. Yeah, like I get that people need it to promote their stuff, but I feel like, anyway, that's a bit of a Spotify rant. Amazon, I don't know what I feel about Amazon. I don't really, like, I do feel a bit like, iffy. I'm not hugely against the capitalist thing, but I think American capitalism is where the problems are. I think other countries like Australia have a much more balanced form of capitalism, because like we've also got a bit more of the social safety nets and so on, whereas America is, when people are against capitalism, I'm pretty sure they usually mean the American form of capitalism, and they don't always realize that, it's different in different parts of the world. It's not perfect here in Australia, but I'd say it's better than in America. Anyway, no, so there is a bit of that ickiness about Amazon and the way they treat their workers, which is kind of fun, like this taking that to like the extreme conclusion. Yeah, I really like the world that they've built around that. But, there's some things that are just easy to get on Amazon. There's also some companies that only use Amazon. So for Triton, I got him this little quiet nail grinder thing because the breeder recommended a Dremel, and I have a Dremel, and it's terrifying. It's not like the pet-specific Dremel, though. It was one I used for an art project once and then never again because I was that terrified of it. So I'm like, I know. Maybe the dog is fine because the breeder used them, to get them used to it. But I am not fine, so I got a quiet one off Amazon because that company only uses Amazon, and I'm like, well, okay. And then occasionally, sometimes it's just really hard to find things. Although for his pet blower, I found it on eBay, but then I found the seller's online store, and when I went to their online store, if I signed up to their newsletter, I got $10 off, so it was even better, and I bypassed the third-party kind of platforms, and I don't know. Anyway, mini rant. I don't know, I don't feel like I have strong beliefs, but then sometimes I'll do these behaviors that make it seem like I care. So things like privacy, which is hilarious because I'm a YouTuber and I just blurt everything. Do I care about my privacy? Not really, but I also don't want AI on my machine. I don't sign up to certain things. I don't have endless apps on my phone. I only try and have the apps that I find useful. And if I can access something on my PC, why do I need it on my phone? Why do I need a specific app for every damn company? Because they want to get my data. I'm like, just watch my YouTube channel then, you dicks. Give me some watch time. Make it worth my while. I don't know. I just like having a physical card better than having to show people an app or whatever. And because my phone, I will go on an Optus rant at some point, but yeah, I've been living cheap and not having unlimited data, and people don't realize that when they set up these apps. Ooh, order at your table with this thing, with this QR code, and I'm like, but do you have free Wi-Fi? Because if you don't have free Wi-Fi, that's going to cost me money. This is turning into a completely different rant. Anyway, check out Cyrus, check out Citizens of Amazon on Bandcamp. Also check out Smoke Machine. I really like that song because it's fun and it's very my channel is Destroy America, right? Or however you want to pronounce it. Destroy America, Destroy Mariko. If we go for a Japanese, that was kind of a bit more of a bogan. Destroy Mariko. Mariko, what do people call me? I don't even know. Japanese sounding? Destroya Mariko? There's a bit of Japanese in this. But yeah, no, Smoke Machine. The lyric is basically, every machine's a smoke machine if you mess with it enough. And I'm just like, yeah, every machine's a smoke machine. Every machine's a smoke machine. Yeah. Anyway, I need to do more cybergoth stuff. I've dressed up once since I got this dog, and it was for, no, I've dressed up twice, I think. Once for his graduation and once for, an art gallery thing, although maybe one of them I didn't wear makeup, I don't remember. And when I say makeup, only eyeliner, eyeshadow. I haven't used foundation since I got him. And, I don't need to wear all that stuff. I might need practice though. And also, if I don't use it, it's gonna all go off. And then I've spent all that money. And anyway, my next rant, I just had to do this now because I was just listening to it. Like, I got it a few days ago, and also it launched online a little while before this arrived. But I finally had a time to sit down and listen to it, especially because it's a concept album. I didn't want to, like, be listening to bits and pieces when I'm busy or distracted. So I'm like, no, I need to have quiet time just to listen, do my Sudokus while I'm, like, rocking out, like, yeah, this is really cool. And then, you know, for some of the more flowy ones, because they have good, like, the Citizens of Amazon, it's not just, like, full-on dance all the time. They've got, like, dynamics, you know, so sometimes it goes really hard, and then sometimes there'll be chill parts. And with some of the chill parts, it's a bit of a more of a melodic kind of thing, and I start improvising vocals over it because I can't help myself. I've become one of those vocalists. It's nice that I got to a point where I can improvise to some extent and also harmonize to some extent if I know roughly what's going on with the music. That's nice that I progressed to that, and without really having enough lessons to... I'm probably not even practicing enough to justify, although I do practice without realizing it because I just got lost in, you know, I think I just go on autopilot as I'm singing along. Anyway, no, I was just listening to that and fun stuff. Where was I going with that last little ramble? Oh, I don't even know. But, no, I have no idea what I was just going to say. Or did I say it all? Citizens of Amazon. Oh, okay, well, the next rant. So I had to film this now because I just happened to be listening to it and I'm still in the music mode where I was just been like going, yeah, with my Sudoku, yeah, this music, Citizens of Amazon. What's one of the songs that was really fun? Violate all commands. Feed your oppressors to the land. The robot voice I don't like so much, but like I get the vibe of it. There's some fun stuff. Violate all commands was a really fun one, I think. And Employee Citizen, the first track, that really sets the scene. Anyway, no, I've just been like, so I'm still in my like kind of mood. So I film it now while I can hold on to that emotion because my emotions go flat very quickly. But the next video I was going to film before I did that will be probably about therapy. People are asking me, they watch my first Schizoid video and then they're like, hey, how are you going like since then? I'm like, I've done so many videos, just search my damn channel for either Schizoid or SPD. I refuse to do SZPD because there's also schizotypal, it doesn't help. And SPD, people are like, oh, we've got to change Schizoid because, you know, it clashes with sensory processing disorder. Except that, I haven't checked, but the last time I did check, sensory processing disorder wasn't actually a recognized thing. It's a newer thing, whereas Schizoid had been around much longer, and they came in and hijacked it. But also, some of the food that Triton eats is called SPD, single protein diet. But anyway, no, I stopped using SPD just to avoid confusion, like in the titles, and so I'd usually just say Schizoid. But some of the videos that I made originally did just say SPD, and so you will search for them. You'll find my other Schizoid videos. Stop asking. I will make an update when I have something new to say, which even like, you know, my next video about therapy, there'll be a bit about Schizoid maybe, but that's not actually my main concern. But it's still mental health. People think the only disorder I have is Schizoid. Come on. There's more going on with me. I'm more of a nutcase than that. Leave me alone. Oh, I thought I was filming on the computer and I'm trying to like get my mouse ready to stop the video. And really I should just press the thing on my screen. Why did I film this on the fucking phone? Catch you later. You're gonna see more dog videos before we get to that vlog.